What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. That's right. Awesome. This is part 3 of number 93 of the number one source right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. I can't take myself seriously, man, but you guys fucking enjoy it. This is Off the Script, episode number 93. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the number one podcast in your fucking subscription boxes when it comes to WWE, man. Sunday morning. Thank you guys for joining me. Gonna be a great day. I got lots of news. I got news on Roman Reigns. I got a big story on Vince McMahon, which I'm gonna go off on because it's just fucking retarded. I don't understand it. I don't understand the company, but it is what it is, and we got a fucking clown leading the charge. So we'll talk about that. I got news on Cesaro and Randy Orton's injuries. I got news on Sting and The Undertaker, man. Action-packed episode right here to close out the weekend for Off the Script number 93. You guys need to take advantage of this deal, bro. Seriously. Pro Wrestling Tees. You guys need to take advantage. I only got 4 of you out of the thousands that watch this series every weekend, man. 4. You guys need to take advantage, man. 20% off all the t-shirts, man, on Pro Wrestling Tees. That includes Off the Script t-shirts by yours truly, man. Seriously, go out and purchase, man. If you got friends, family, if you guys are into professional wrestling, it makes a great gift. 20% off all the t-shirts, man, up until Monday. You got 1 day left. Make sure you go to ProWrestlingTees.com/WWE Off the Script and go get your t-shirts, man. 20% off. If you guys spend over $100 on the website, you're not only going to get the 20% off, you're going to get actually a limited edition t-shirt on top of that. Andre the Giant limited edition t-shirt, man. This sale is only once a year. It's the biggest sale that Pro Wrestling Tees throws all year round, so make sure you guys take advantage of that before Monday, November 30th, guys. Thank you guys so much for those who have already purchased Off the Script t-shirts. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, man, I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. Seriously, I don't know what you're waiting for. As I always say every weekend, this is the number one source. Twitter, at JD from NY206, the best place to reach out to me. If I don't get back to you, if you tweet me something and I don't get back to you, it means I'm fucking busy. Work has been slaughtering me all week, and it's just going to get worse up until the holiday season ends. And then Twitch, if you guys want WWE 2K16 content, my Universe Mode, and most of all my feuds and my creativity goes into Twitch with that. That's Twitch TV/JD from NY206. I'm going to be streaming sometime this weekend, if not already. So make sure you guys follow me on there as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to the DangerZone YouTube channel. The number one, or going to be the number one community channel for professional wrestling, man, of all ages and all discussions. It's going to be great. So make sure you guys go check them out as well. I'm on there twice, talking about Roman Reigns before the Survivor Series, and I went over my top 5 Survivor Series moments of all time. Make sure you guys go check those videos out if you have not done so. And as always, WrestleCrate.com will be unboxing WrestleCrate for November 2015 right here on Off the Script next weekend if the UPS man or whoever the fucking delivering it gets the shit right and actually gets me my box on time. But we will be unboxing something right here next weekend for sure, okay? So make sure you guys go check them out, WrestleCrate.com, and on Twitter, at WrestleCrates. They are big supporters of the show right here on YouTube.com. Now that that's all out of the way, my typical fucking bullshit, all right? Let's talk about Vince McMahon. I read this today on my lunch break, and I figured, you know what? There's really nothing else going on in WWE. This needs to be the biggest story of Sunday's episode of Off the Script, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. There's been a lot of speculation that many within WWE are hitting the panic button with WWE ratings declining, and many are concerned about WWE's plan going forward into 2016 and setting up 2016 given the number of injuries to major stars of the product. According to the Pro Wrestling Observer, the one man in WWE you'd expect to be panicking more than anyone is not. Vince McMahon is reportedly not concerned at all with the recent run of weak ratings for WWE television. Monday Night Raw ratings have been dropping consistently over the last few months, but Vince McMahon thinks this is a trend. I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. There's more to the story. His belief appears to be that once the bigger names return, everything will be okay. However, Vince McMahon is on the very top of the WWE ladder. There are many talents and staff that are reportedly frustrated with the current direction of WWE. The common phrase is working for WWE isn't fun anymore. And WWE is just becoming a place of work and not passion. The fact that Vince McMahon isn't concerned with WWE struggling to be consistent is actually making others in WWE concerned that he's so understanding about WWE being in a slump. John Cena is back very soon. Brock Lesnar is likely to return for the Royal Rumble. That will help. But WWE needs to utilize what they have right now and create new stars. Otherwise, more injuries are going to create more problems for WWE. This is what I have to say about this, and I'm going to try and remain as calm as possible, man. Number one, Vince McMahon is clearly to blame for all of this, okay? As far as the injuries go, he pushes the product. He pushes the wrestler or the superstar too much to the point that everyone is breaking down. 5, 6, 7 days a week. 7 days a week. Them doing the same thing on these live shows, man. It's toned down from Monday Night Raw. We don't get nearly as much wrestling on Monday Night Raw if you compare it to a house show. These guys going out there, Cena, Cesaro, Wyatt, you name it, man. They're going out there 15, 20 minutes, maybe even more, depending on the act. Going out there for the live shows every week, every day, performing 20, 25 minutes to give the crowd live at these events, regular house shows, something to go home and be happy about. That's breaking your superstar. That's breaking your wrestler down slowly but surely, man. This is why there are so many injuries, so many possible concussions. You know, Cesaro is out. He's out 6 months. We're going to talk about that in a second. Randy Orton may be out the entire fucking year of 2016 because his body is broken down. And God knows how many other guys are on the roster right now that are broken down. And they won't speak up because they don't want to lose their spot on the WWE roster. If someone speaks up and says that they're hurt, you know, and they're taken off the road, and they're taken off house shows, and they're taken out of storylines and main slots and main storylines on television, their spot on the roster is going to move down. And someone else is going to be ready and willing to take their place. So they're scared. So some of these guys may be fucking hurt bad. They may be hopped up on drugs, painkillers. We don't know. Some of these guys may be hurt and they won't speak up because of fear of losing their spot. You can't do that, man. You can't be breaking these guys down. This is why the discussion of WWE having an off season is always talked about. These guys don't have an off season, man. These guys have barely any days off during the year. Anything to give these guys rest is a blessing. They don't have it. 300 plus days a year, man. Christmas, they go home for Christmas and then they're back on the road the next day. There's no rest. There's no R&R for these guys, bro. And that's a problem. So that's number one. Vince McMahon is pushing these guys so much that they're slowly breaking down. Number two, if I was a CEO of a company and my number one show was slumping and has ratings declining like Monday Night Raw, heads would be fucking rolling, pink slips would be fucking handed out, and I would be on a fucking tirade every week until things were right again. Vince McMahon apparently is not worried because in his sick and twisted mind, Vince McMahon thinks this is okay. This is a trend. We go through this every year. Yeah, you go through it every year, but it's been lasting all fucking year for the second half of the year, man. Ever since WrestleMania ended, you've been in this slump. And there's no fucking way around it. They pick it up starting in January, and then we see storylines developing for WrestleMania. We go into February, March, April, and WWE, with the assistance of part-time guys, they start creating television that's actually worth watching. And then it goes right back to the same shit. Right back in April after WrestleMania is over, going into Extreme Rules, everything starts all over again, and the slump begins again. Vince McMahon is fucking senile. This man is not right. He is not worried because he thinks John Cena's coming back, Brock Lesnar's coming back, The Undertaker's going to be back eventually to build towards a WrestleMania program. This one's going to be back, that one's going to be back, everything's going to be alright with Roman Reigns. People are going to adore Roman Reigns because we're going to try and develop sympathy, and we're going to try and have him the underdog, and Sheamus is going to be the one on top, and when it finally happens, Roman Reigns is going to be adored by everybody. That's not the way it's going to work, man. That's not the way it's going to work. It worked that way for Daniel Bryan because people were already invested in everything the man did. Roman Reigns has been shit on all fucking year. And you think one instance with Sheamus is going to turn this all around? Do you know how much work needs to go into Sheamus for this to work? I don't think WWE is capable of building Sheamus up to that point when he's beat. People are going to fucking care who the babyface is. It's not going to work that way, bro. This was a last-ditch effort, and WWE, I will say it again, dropped the ball on Roman Reigns becoming the biggest heel in the WWE because, for whatever reason, Vince McMahon has this fucking hard-on for Roman Reigns and the idea of Roman Reigns being the top guy. He wants someone to replace John Cena. John Cena is not ready to be replaced, man. I don't see where this fucking ideal is coming from. I really don't. But Vince McMahon, he thinks everything's going to be okay. It's just a trend. Do you know what this means to me as someone who comes on here and voices his opinion about WWE? It means, number one, Vince McMahon is a fucking retard, number one. Number two, he thinks because he's got all the part-time guys coming in for WrestleMania that everything's going to be okay. So he's going back to the idea of hiring these part-time guys and pushing these part-time guys to get the ratings up briefly, and then they'll go right back down when these guys aren't available anymore after WrestleMania season. Number three, this is a slap in the face of everyone that works year-round and breaks their bodies down to get that WrestleMania spot. This is a slap in the face to all those guys who work 300 days a year because they're not getting the recognition that they deserve. They're not getting the pushes that they deserve. Vince McMahon thinks this is okay because Brock Lesnar, who's being paid fucking $5-6 million a year, and John Cena, who's been the face of the company for 12 years, yeah, they're coming back. The Undertaker's coming back. What about the guys who are on the road all year round, who don't see their fucking kids and don't see their fucking families? What about them? Huge disrespect. Yeah, it's okay because we have those guys coming back, but fuck you and the other guys who we don't care about pushing because you're not a John Cena or you're not a Brock Lesnar. Vince McMahon has failed, again, to create new stars. And it's a slap in the face to everybody on the roster right now because you're not named John Cena, because you're not named Brock Lesnar. Vince McMahon is so out of touch. And I don't wish ill will on anybody, but CM Punk, I swear to God, no matter if it was fucking a worked shoot or if it was heartfelt, CM Punk was given a script to go out there and say when he dropped that pipe bomb, man. But what he said was fucking fact. Vince McMahon and the company itself would be better off if Vince McMahon wasn't there anymore. Seriously. I think he is so out of touch. This is not the Vince McMahon of old, man. The Vince McMahon of old, I'll sit here and fucking tell you all day long, man was a fucking genius. But he had Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara writing for him, you know? This is a different Vince McMahon. He's got nobody writing for him, man. He's got the fucking weasel, Kevin Dunn, whispering in his ear what needs to be done. I'm sure Vince McMahon is hearing it from all different angles. But he needs to sit down with somebody, face to face, and this other person needs to tell him, listen, Vince, the fucking ship is sinking. Changes need to be made, man. We are not doing things the way they should be run. Things are going really, really bad right now. Someone needs to have the fucking balls to tell him this. Otherwise, this shit is going to continue. I don't believe it. I really don't believe what I'm reading in this news article, according to the Pro Wrestling Observer. Vince McMahon is not concerned with the ratings. You think the ratings are going to get better when Roman Reigns is crowned WWE Champion? You think the ratings are going to be better when Sheamus continues to hold the title? They're going to get worse. In fact, I hope they get worse. Because once they start slipping well below the ones, well below the twos, I should say, God forbid, it slips below the ones. If we start seeing 1.7, 1.8, what is it going to... Is Vince McMahon going to worry then? Are the reports going to change? Is Vince McMahon going to be worried about Monday Night Raw and the product then? He's not worried with a 2.17 rating for Monday Night Raw, though, following a big pay-per-view where you were going to crown a new WWE champion. Is he going to be worried then? I don't know, man. If I was Vince McMahon, I'd be fucking worried. People would be fired, this and that. I really don't get it. I don't understand it, how you have Hollywood fucking writers, right, who are writing for your product. They are a product of Hollywood. These people are supposed to script storylines and give us something worth watching. They're supposed to have angles and storylines planned out for months so that we get great television. None of that is happening. None of that is happening. And I don't understand why, man. How difficult is it to book storylines for the fucking talent you have on this roster, man? Somebody there, or the entire creative team, is not doing their job. Vince McMahon is probably not even allowing these guys to do their job, for all I know. But what these creative writers need to do is sit down with the talent and understand their character and understand their motives and what their character is about, and they need to write for them. Superstars like Bray Wyatt need to have an input on what is going on, man. You can't give someone who is completely blind to the product and give him a pen and paper and have him write for Bray Wyatt. He doesn't know what a Bray Wyatt does. He doesn't know who a Bray Wyatt is. This is why the product is failing. You're having these guys script promos for a Dolph Ziggler and a Sheamus. They all sound so fucking robotic. Nothing sounds organic and natural anymore, man. This is the problem. Everything backstage in the WWE needs to be fucking flipped upside down on its head, and it needs to be fucking completely revamped, man. Everything that we see needs to be revamped. I don't understand why the company is struggling with the basics. I just don't get it. And it starts at the top. Vince McMahon is senile. He is senile, man. I really don't understand how all this is just so difficult and that he's not worried about the ratings. I would be worried about the ratings. We as fans are worried about the ratings. We as fans want the product to flourish and be successful. Vince McMahon says, whatever, man. Whatever. John Cena's coming back. Brock Lesnar's coming back. The ratings will be okay. Yeah, sure they will. Why, it goes from a 2.17 to a 2.27 and you'll be okay with that? Oh, look, the ratings increased this week. We're up from last week. Yeah, sure thing, Vince. Sure thing. Vince McMahon needs to go. Kevin Dunn needs to go fucking take a walk. Things need to be radically changed in WWE. And whatever's going on, the current plans that are going on, I just don't have any faith. I have no hope in WWE. And thank the Lords we have NXT. Thank the fucking Lords we have NXT, man. That's all I got to say about that. Let me know what you guys think about Vince McMahon not worried about the ratings. I find that to be fucking laughable at best. Really, I just don't get it. Vince McMahon needs to go, and someone really needs to sit him down and tell him, listen, bro, we are fucking up big time, and this is a sinking ship, and we're going down fast. Someone needs to sit him down and tell him how it is, man, because he's obviously fucking blind to everything that's going on within his company, man. And he's supposed to be the one analyzing everything. He certainly ain't analyzing shit according to fucking the product that we're getting. Because if he thinks this is okay, if he thinks what he's putting on TV each and every week is okay, I just don't know, man. I'm speechless. Absolutely fucking speechless. Cesaro has been on a roll lately, and Monday Night Raw, a few weeks back, Cesaro had a great showing in the quarterfinals of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship tournament against Roman Reigns. Great fucking match. Unfortunately for him, Roman Reigns was able to get into the semifinals, but Cesaro has been a man on the rise in WWE, and the Cesaro section has been growing by the week. Even more unfortunately for the Cesaro section, WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross took to Twitter last week revealing that Cesaro is dealing with a shoulder injury that would require surgery. This news is extremely unfortunate because in the absence of John Cena, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro had a golden opportunity to break through into the next level of his career. If Cesaro has surgery and has his name added to the ever-growing list of talent on the shelf in WWE right now, it's possible that he could be back before the Royal Rumble, and this injury could just be a hitch. A small injury can be a blessing in disguise in the right situation. Last year, Reigns had a hernia that made people question his future, but looking at him now, he could be the next WWE champion. Cesaro's been a workhorse, so it only makes sense that his body would force him to take a small break. And in an update, Cesaro's injury is far worse than originally thought, and the surgery will take him out of action for the next 4 to 6 months. This is brutal. Because I was enjoying Cesaro's act. I was one of the many people who wanted to see Cesaro on the rise and overcome the political bullshit in WWE and gain recognition and get the spot that he deserves. And now he is out 4 to 6 months, missing the Rumble, and more than likely missing WrestleMania, man. This is a huge fucking blow to WWE. Hopefully he comes back better than ever, and WWE realizes that they have a special talent in Cesaro, and they give him the push that he deserves, and he picks up right where he left off, man. This is devastating to add to John Cena, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Tyson Kidd. It's unbelievable, man, what's going on in WWE with the injuries. These superstars are breaking down left and right, and I only hope Cesaro's surgery is a success, and he comes back better than ever and quick, because we all miss Cesaro, man. It's going to be a big blow to WWE. The Viper will also be out of action longer than anticipated. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Randy Orton's injuries are worse than previously thought, and he will need to undergo neck surgery, recovering from his recent shoulder surgery. The Apex Predator is currently out of action after undergoing surgery following an injury that he sustained while at his home. His current injury was slated to keep him out of action until after WrestleMania 32. However, he will not undergo neck surgery until the doctors feel that he has recovered enough from the shoulder surgery. The neck surgery will keep him out of action an additional 3 to 6 months, which could push Orton's return date until near the end of 2016 or even into early 2017. This news adds to the emotional roller coaster that Orton has been on recently as he married his longtime girlfriend and his longtime girlfriend a couple of weeks back. I'm sorry for that. He married his longtime girlfriend a couple of weeks ago. So Randy Orton got married, had shoulder surgery, and now he's going to need fusion neck surgery, which may keep him out until early 2017. Randy Orton's injury, to me, really doesn't bother me as much as the others, like Cesaro and Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins. Randy Orton, this could be something that could be a motivator for Randy Orton. He'll come back. He'll be stronger than ever. I really don't know of his age. I think he's up there, 35, 36 years old. He may be younger than I mean, 34. You know, he's still relatively young, but he's been in the WWE forever, man. It seems like forever anyway. So Orton's going to be out, and this one doesn't really bother me as much as the others, like Rollins and Bryan and Cesaro. But Orton going to need neck fusion surgery. He's going to be out. I wish him a speedy recovery. And this could be a blessing in disguise for Randy Orton. Man, he could come back better than ever. Maybe another title reign on top of that. You know, I look at these things as, you know, not a negative. Because when the returns do happen, it's always a fucking emotional high. It's great television. You know, a surprise entry in the Royal Rumble. People will forget about Randy Orton as the months go on. You know, where's Orton? How's he doing? Yeah, there's no word of him. And boom, he's back in the Royal Rumble. You know, things like that are great. And it's great to see as fans. So Orton going to be out longer than expected. Possible early 2017 return. So that is the news on Randy Orton. The updated news, I should say, on Randy Orton's status within WWE. According to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer, even though WWE decided to give the World Heavyweight Championship to Sheamus at the Survivor Series, the long-term plan is to get the belt on Roman Reigns and have him be the face of the company. The feeling within WWE is that many fans see Reigns as the corporate choice to lead the company, which is why he's receiving a negative reaction at many pay-per-view events and TV tapings. The current plan appears to keep screwing Roman Reigns out of the title, which will ideally get fans behind him and make his eventual world title run be a good thing, or seen as a good thing. His reactions are getting better as he has been cheered more on television, both during his entrance and in his matches. WWE officials hope to keep his momentum going and build him up in the eyes of the fans before pulling the trigger and giving him the WWE title. I don't think he is getting cheered any more than he already was. I don't see it. I don't know what this fucking newsletter from the Wrestling Observer is saying. I really don't. You know, Survivor Series was clear cut. Nobody gave a fuck about Roman Reigns. They didn't cheer him as he walked out of the ring. Monday Night Raw was different, but I mean, it really wasn't an explosive, you know, overwhelming love fest for Roman Reigns. I mean, if you compare it to Daniel Bryan when he won the WWE Championship and he came out with the title on Monday Night Raw, and each and every week he came out on Monday Night Raw, people were cheering him as if he wasn't the champion when he never even had the title before that, man. Even after that, even when he was chasing the IC title, people still adored him with fucking love, and everybody just loved what he did, and they missed him, and they wanted to see him. It's not even you can't even compare that, man. You really can't. Roman Reigns, when he wins the title, is going to be booed out of the fucking building. If you're going to give him the title at WrestleMania as a face, this is going to blow up in your face. Because nobody wants it, man. You're going to feed him the title amongst all the most rabid wrestling fans in the world who don't want your political bullshit. I don't get WWE, man. He needed to be a heel. He needed to be a fucking heel. He needed to be the guy to align himself with Triple H and the Authority, and WWE fucked it up. I don't see why they thought Sheamus was the best idea. I don't see how WWE's going to build up Sheamus as this unstoppable heel, this big, badass bully heel that's going to get under Roman Reigns' skin. Nobody gives a fuck about Sheamus, man. They don't. And WWE has now until WrestleMania. You mean to tell me we have to live with Sheamus as the WWE champion? Someone who's been mingling in nothing all year, and now you want us to take him seriously? WWE is absolutely fucking retarded, man. I would love to have sat in on those creative meetings when they thought, you know what, we're going to make Sheamus the WWE champion, and this is what we got planned. I would have stood up and raised my hand, and I would be like, this is fucking retarded. Why? This is not the way to go, man. You got Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. You need to build for the future. You don't need to build Sheamus. What the fuck has he shown me all year in 2015? Nothing. That he's a fucking bum. Yeah, he's decent in the ring. Nobody wants to see him as the face and head of the company as world champion, man. You had two birds with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, and you could have built the entire fucking remaining calendar year up until WrestleMania between Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. And you failed. You failed. What I laid out for each and every one of you on my DangerZone commentary, on Off The Script, on my Monday Night Raw reviews, on my Survivor Series review, it all was brilliant. It was all perfect. You want to give Roman Reigns the Daniel Bryan treatment. Meanwhile, you could have gave that to Dean Ambrose. It would have been more believable. Nobody's going to believe in Roman Reigns like they did a Daniel Bryan. They would have believed in Dean Ambrose because people actually want to see Dean Ambrose. And they would have want to see Dean Ambrose overcome all the odds, man. Nobody wants to see Roman Reigns overcome all the odds because it's not natural. It's not organic. We know you're giving him the treatment. You know, or we know the WWE is giving us Roman Reigns and force-feeding him us as a babyface. It's not going to come off as genuine like it did with Daniel Bryan. It's not going to come off genuine like it would have with Dean Ambrose. This is a fucking failure, and I hope and I pray that it blows up in WWE's face, man, because this is not the way it should have been, and I hope it all falls on Vince's lap, and I hope it fucking crumbles, man. WrestleMania 32 would have been fucking amazing as a Roman Reigns heel going into the fucking event as world champion and having Dean Ambrose overcome everything, man. That would have been great. That would have been a great headliner, man. You give those guys fucking 25 minutes to tear down the house like I know they could. You would have had yourself a great fucking main event, and Dean Ambrose would have been crowned the new WWE champion, man. After overcoming everything, man. After winning the Rumble, after fucking fighting off the Authority. Would have been great. You want to give Roman Reigns that, man. And nobody's going to believe it. I can't wait to watch the fucking shit show unravel. And I can't wait to fucking sit there with a cold beer in my hand and fucking laugh. And come on here and say, you know what? You fucking assholes. I told you so. JD was right yet again. I can't wait, man. And it's going to happen. Believe that. Seriously, believe that. Manuel Alfonso Andrade Oropeza, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, a.k.a. La Sombra, signed the WWE developmental contract last week, and he's training at the WWE Performance Center. The former CMLL and New Japan Pro Wrestling star is considered a major signing by WWE, and there are plans in place for La Sombra to become a huge star in NXT and eventually in WWE. According to F4W Online, there are many reports of WWE signing La Sombra with the intention of pushing him as a major Latino star because of his backstage demeanor, and that is said to be very professional, and he isn't likely to stall or derail his career with backstage issues. Sombra also speaks English very, very well, and WWE will most likely push him as an enormous potential superstar for the Latin market. He would join WWE's Lucha Dragons and Alberto Del Rio as the major stars of that market. There were reports of WWE feeling disappointed with Kalisto, but he had a strong showing in the WWE title tournament, and Lucha Dragons have been featured on WWE television much more as of late, probably getting a tag team title shot at TLC. There have been no news on La Sombra wearing a mask in WWE. A luchador's mask would be very marketable, but the initial feeling was La Sombra's mask made him a generic luchador instead of the talent WWE believes he can be in the company. Going to be very interesting to see how WWE handles this. I'm not familiar with La Sombra, so if you guys are familiar with him, you guys know I'm strictly a WWE guy. I really don't watch CMML. I'm not really familiar with all that goes on in New Japan. So if you guys are familiar with La Sombra, let me know down in the comments below. Is this a great signing for WWE? How do you think he's going to do? What do you think of WWE possibly removing his mask? So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of this signing for WWE, NXT, and eventually on the main roster. La Sombra coming to the WWE. And finally, guys, to end this weekend's Off the Script, it is one of the most desired matches in the history of professional wrestling. Sting versus The Undertaker would be the match of many generations, and the atmosphere of the Icon versus the Phenom would be epic. There has been so much speculation about WWE's plans for WrestleMania 32. The list goes on from The Rock status, possible Batista return, to even seeing John Cena versus The Undertaker. It is now being reported by PWInsider.com that Sting versus The Undertaker, and this is in bold black letters, is not happening at WrestleMania 32. In fact, there has been no serious discussion about Sting appearing in Dallas at all. The event is several months away and many things could change, but it's very unlikely that he'll wrestle after the health scare at Night of Champions with Seth Rollins, and WWE isn't even talking about him appearing on the show in any capacity as of this report. Around August, Cena versus The Undertaker was heavily discussed, and a plan would have worked out. Despite rumors of Cena versus Reigns, it seems that WWE officials are planning a Cena versus Undertaker match for WrestleMania 32 at this very moment. In similar news, Seth Rollins versus Triple H was never set in stone for WrestleMania, but it's extremely likely that we'll see that match at some point in the near future, possibly at SummerSlam in Brooklyn 2016. However, there are no plans to have it for Rollins when he returns, but that's even further away than WrestleMania. As for a possible opponent for Triple H at WrestleMania 32, The Rock is ruled out, and there is no word on if the game wrestling at the event is going to happen. It's possible WWE may be interested in, God, I hope not, because it makes no sense, Sting versus Triple H Part 2. You want to book that, but you don't want to book Sting versus The Undertaker. I thought Sting wasn't going to be at the event, period. I thought WWE didn't want Sting to be in the ring after the health scare. But you don't want to book The Undertaker versus Sting, but it's possible WWE may be interested in doing Sting versus Triple H. How does that make any fucking sense, man? Part 2 of Sting versus Triple H? Part 1 was good enough, man. That was enough for me. I don't need to see it again. Again, WWE going back to doing what they do best. Fuck you to the fans. Why? I don't know, man. But I'll tell you this. If Sting versus The Undertaker does happen, where does John Cena go? John Cena versus Roman Reigns. would be a terrible fucking main event, and I'm afraid that if Sting versus Undertaker does happen, that John Cena is going to be fighting Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. We don't want that, man. I say stick with The Undertaker versus John Cena. I think it's a match worthy of WrestleMania. You can make it a career-threatening match. Whatever the fuck you want to do to make it interesting, man. And Roman Reigns, I don't know, man. Maybe a Brock Lesnar showdown part 2 with that. Who's the better man? Seth Rollins fucked it all up. They could go back at it again to see who's the better man. I don't know, man. WWE's got a lot of thinking to do. They got to discuss a lot of plans going into WrestleMania. I just don't know what's going to happen. And the Royal Rumble, it's all gonna fucking take form and take shape at the Royal Rumble, man. And I hope WWE has a solid plan for whatever they got for WrestleMania, because right now it ain't looking too good. Undertaker and Sting, according to PW Insider, is not happening, but the possibility of Sting versus Triple H Part 2 may very well be there for WWE just to get Triple H on the card. Fuck that. Just give me John Cena versus The Undertaker, because that's the safest route. Anything that keeps us away from Roman Reigns versus John Cena, because if that's happening, you can kiss the fucking ratings. Goodbye. Goodbye, man. Nobody wants to see it, and that would be fucking god-awful. God-awful, man. So hopefully WWE has something planned for WrestleMania that's going to make us all happy. That's Off The Script, guys. This is the #1 source for WWE right here on YouTube.com. Thank you all for joining me this weekend. Hit that thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. And check out the sponsors, man. Pro Wrestling Tees. Make sure you guys get your t-shirts this weekend. 20% off. Great fucking deal. Lasts only till Monday. So you got today and Monday. And that's it, man. That is it. Make sure you get your t-shirts, man. 20% off. That's ProWrestlingTees.com/WWE Off The Ship. And they do ship internationally, man. WrestleCrate.com. Make sure you guys go and check them out. Subscribe to WrestleCrate, the #1 subscription service delivered to your front door. You want instant 10% off? Use my code, man. JD sent me for an instant 10% off on the regular crate or the ultimate crate, man. Whichever you prefer. And WrestleCrate also delivers in the United Kingdom. Both of their Twitter links for UK and USA are linked down below, as well as their homepage website. Everything is linked down below, man. And as always, the Danger Zone. Go and subscribe to the Danger Zone, man. Chris Dank and Michelle, his girlfriend, setting up a nice little community over there. I was happy to be a part of that twice. So go check those guys out, man. I'm going to be promoting them a lot during the winter. So make sure you guys go follow them as well on Twitter and YouTube. And what else do I got, man? Is that it? I think that's it. I'll be back on Monday with not Off The Script. You guys wish Off The Script was on Monday. I'll be back with my Monday Night Raw review after another shit Monday Night Raw, I'm assuming. I don't know where it's taking place, but we can all sit here and wonder if WWE is going to possibly give us a decent show, or am I going to come on here and fucking rant, as always, how shitty the product is, man. But I'll be back right here on Monday night with my Raw review, and then I'll be back on Friday, as always, with number 94 of Off The Script. This is JD. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for everything this weekend. And I'll see you guys right back here next week. Take care.